You're familiar with Miss Rachel, yeah? Incredible person, and her kids' videos are so popular that on TikTok, parents will like they'll put Miss Rachel on, and she starts every episode the same. She goes, "Hi, hello," and when their babies hear that like hello, even if they're asleep, they'll just be like, that's the kind of fan base I want. I know I have some fans here tonight, and I'm so grateful for you, but I would vastly prefer if you were a baby, 100%. Because then if I ever saw you in the wild, you'd just be like, as opposed to like, your crowd work videos helped me through a dark period of my life. Don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful, but it can get intense. After shows, it'll be like, good job, great set. I had the gun in my mouth. And I was shaking so much, I accidentally opened YouTube Shorts. I'm not tooting my own horn. People have told me that my videos have helped them overcome suicidal ideation. And every time they say that, I'm like, which video was it? But it's fine. I love that I have a passionate fan base. I am worried, though, that it's veering a little bit too far to the left. Because I've noticed that when I post videos about politics or America, there's more and more comments that just say, we need to bring back the guillotine. See? I gotta tell you, that's my biggest problem with anti-capitalists. They have not figured out a way to upgrade from the guillotine. We are not winning this battle one by one, guys. That's why you need to get rid of all the billionaires. You need to keep one Jeff Bezos around to guillotine at scale. Some kind of assembly line shopping that ends with a drone system that brings the heads back to their families. See, they're not fucking ready for it, you see? That's the problem with fucking leftists. We're like, eat the rich, farm the table. If I'm a leftist or a socialist or a champagne socialist or a communist, it doesn't matter though what I call myself. If you asked any of my friends, they would all agree I am more of an acquaintance. And you know what? That's the problem with having too many political opinions. You know, you start weighing in on every single argument. And instead of persuading anyone to join your party, they stop inviting you to theirs. So I've been asking myself more recently, not what things do I like not care about. I'm always going to be a bleeding heart, but like, which debates am I not the right advocate for? Like trans women playing women's sports. I can't believe it's still coming up, but it is. And every time it does, someone who's like more centrist, they'll say this. They'll be like, look, I believe people should identify as they see fit. But you have to acknowledge certain biological advantages, and if you let trans women play women's sports, it will ruin sports. And every time I'm just like, good. Oh no! Sports? The thing that ruined my childhood? Let it burn to the fucking ground! And yeah, would I feel differently if in high school a trans man had beaten me for the part of Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors? Maybe. But that never would have happened. When Charlie Kirk got shot, guys, there's cameras in here. When Charlie Kirk got shot, the media did that thing where they were trying to find out the political affiliation of the shooter. They were like, was he a Republican or a Democrat? And it's like, he was 22. His political party was a hentai subreddit. I mean, that's that's usually the case. Most political shooters are young because by the time you're a full-fledged adult, there's so many other people you want to kill. You'd rather shoot your spouse than make a difference. But they did find out that the shooter was dating a trans woman at the time, and of course conservatives, they leapt on that. They tried to connect that to another shooting that had happened earlier from someone who had identified as trans, and this is all during a time when Trump's Department of Justice was kind of floating the idea out there where they were like, maybe trans people shouldn't be allowed to have guns. And the NRA was like, no. Now look, I'm not here to defend the NRA. But it was nice to see a group with some integrity nowadays. Can we at least say that? I mean, think of how many organizations have bent the knee to Trump. Only the NRA was like, this is our only thing, dude. And I don't know. I mean, if the NRA is the future of progressive politics, we might have to change some of the slogans, but trans rights are gun rights. Boom, just did it right there. I don't love guns, but if every trans person had one, there'd be a lot less misgendering. I'll tell you that shit right now. I mean, come on, are we gonna protect trans rights? Or are we gonna protect trans rights? I think we can find common ground with the NRA and traditional liberal values. Like, liberals love musical theater. Trump just took over the Kennedy Center. Let's put on a production of Annie Get They Their Gun. It's time for us to embrace the LGBTQIA2+ NRA community. Because I promise you, those gun folks, they care about guns more than they do the other conservative values. I'm sure they saw what happened to Charlie Kirk. They couldn't help it. A small part of them was like, good shot. I know I'm gonna get in trouble for a joke someday. Could be one I tell tonight, could be one I tell in the future. Could be a joke I told years ago, but it just goes viral in the wrong circles. Who knows? The only thing I'm sure of is that when I get in like serious trouble for a joke, I know a lot of you are gonna pretend like you never liked me. I know how this relationship works. Because I'm 37. I'm old enough to remember when most people in this country thought Jay Leno was funny. Yes, it's true. There was a time something crazy would happen in the news. People literally said, I can't wait to see what Jay Leno has to say about this. And then people started making documentaries about shit that happened in the 90s. Like they'd make a movie about the woman who sued McDonald's because she spilled the coffee on herself and she said it was too hot. And the movie, to establish the mood in the country at that time, opens with a shot of Jay Leno at the Tonight Show being like, you see this dumb bitch who spilled the coffee on herself? Which, if you don't know Jay Leno, this is a perfect impression I'm doing right now. Take it from Monica Lewinsky, there's worse hot things you can spill on yourself. And as the camera shows Jay just basking in the audience's universal laughter, the narrator of the documentary comes on and goes, the coffee was so hot her pussy melted together. And people watch this at home and they go, fuck Jay Leno. That's the reason I do crowd work, so I can get you motherfuckers on film. I once saw a woman post on some comedy forum on Reddit. She said, where can I go to see stand-up that's not just a straight white guy complaining about cancel culture? And I was like, there are thousands of places I'm not performing tonight. I like talking about cancel culture. I think it's a fascinating topic. I think what's become so boring is people act like it's new. There's nothing new about consequences. Punishment, shame, forgiveness, apologies. I mean, these go back to before any of us were even here. They had cancel culture back in ancient Rome. It's just back then, when you got canceled, they killed you. Because they were wise. They knew if they didn't, they'd have to hear you whine about cancel culture for the next 50 fucking years. And before you knew it, every Coliseum show was some guy like, "Et tu triggered, Brute?" I think the only real different thing about what we called cancel culture was social media. I mean, look, social media, it's destroyed the fabric of humanity, but it's done a lot for me personally. And I think we just went through such a long phase where we all came under the illusion that, like, if someone got canceled on social media, it was as if they ceased to exist in real life. And I think because of that, we lost track of just how many people we canceled, especially in America. Turns out it was enough to win the popular vote. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have morality. I'm just saying if it's not based in real world consequences, it's not going to be sustainable. Like, I think, and this will come off as bias given my background, I think we canceled too many actors. I don't think it mattered when they were, like, you know, the untalented ones. But I do worry sometimes that we canceled enough really good actors to, frankly, make a pretty good movie. I saw a video online of Kevin Spacey visiting Israel. And I know that's a tough sentence to take in at a comedy show. You hear Kevin Spacey, you go, surely it can't get worse. But it's online. It's Kevin Spacey's getting a pretty nice tour around various parts of Israel, clearly government sponsored, and that's the part that concerns me, because I go, if the current Israeli administration produces a big budget propaganda film starring the very talented Kevin Spacey in a new film written and directed by Woody Allen, produced by Harvey Weinstein, with a P. Diddy soundtrack, I'm gonna see it. My God, you think the Jews ran Hollywood before? When I mention I'm Jewish on the internet like 12 times a day, and I don't even mean politically, if it's like, if I say Happy Passover, or post a picture of me and my girlfriend lighting Hanukkah candles, I will get a number of messages automatically that say, Free Palestine. And I have no problem with the sentiment. I just know when I get that, just because I said that I'm Jewish, it's because those people assume that because I'm Jewish, I must be a Zionist. And I try not to engage, of course, but I always want to write back, like, please, scroll down like 3 videos. Not to sound cliche, but do the research. Because then you know that most of the criticism I get are from Zionists. You know, last 2 years I've been called all sorts of stuff. A pick-me Jew, a self-hating Jew, a capo, a useful idiot. One woman wrote me, she said, "You're just pretending to be Jewish so you can make fun of Israel." And I was like, do you think I circumcised myself? And I'm not saying this to claim I'm the victim in any of it. I'm just saying it's surreal that there's all these people out there who assume that just because I'm Jewish, I must be a Zionist. While at the same time, there's other people who go that because I'm not a Zionist, that means I'm not Jewish. And it's not just me dealing with this. There's a lot of us. Truly, there's a lot of us. And sometimes I feel like we need a country of our own. Just like somewhere we can feel safe in the Middle East. And then, I mean, there's not that many of us. From the river to a Whole Foods would be perfectly sufficient for my needs. And that'll be the joke that does it. Who's got fucked up families here? We got some fucked up families? Yeah? You? What's fucked up about your family?
My parents should get a divorce. They're pretty dysfunctional, but they're still together. So, yeah.
Poor you with your married parents. How tough that must have been. No, they should get divorced?
Yeah.
Who's to blame?
Both of them in their own way. Like, my mom is very emotional, my dad's very emotionally unavailable, so...
Oh, sure, that's a struggle.
That's a really great combo, yeah.
Yeah.
There's also, my parents are Greek, so...
Oh, we should have started with that. We were right at the beginning. Like, oh my God. What is that? Does that mean they're more, is it like, like Italian, like they're temperamental, they're loud, or they're quiet and stoic?
No, they're loud, but there's also like the whole family thing, so like they're not gonna get a divorce because it's like a family, but you're like, no, it's not.
Sure. My dad was, because my dad's Italian, and so every night he told me, he'd say, son, remember, la familia è tutto. Family is everything. Ma la tua madre è una puttana. I do know a little more Italian, if I'm being honest with you. Anyone got a more fucked up family than that? Anyone? Yeah, you? What?
My dad's a pothead, and my mom's a failed musician pothead, and my mom's a music
Orthodox
producer.
Jews, too.
Oh my God. You guys keep starting with the wrong things. Orthodox Jews and
My dad's a rabbi, pothead, musician, Orthodox Jew.
is that what his business card said? What? Oh, wait, I want to see if I remember. Oh, it feels like a memory test. A rabbi? Pothead? I remembered one thing, that he was a rabbi. A rabbi, pothead, musician, Orthodox Jew. Failed musician. Oh God, that's tough. Did he ever make any good songs? Like, he didn't succeed financially, but do you like his music?
I don't.
I guess that's the deepest sign of failure, your own flesh and blood. Jews, we don't have that family bullshit the Greeks do. That's tough. Can you top that?
My dad's girlfriend is basically my age.
Okay. All right.
And my parents are still married.
Once again, you started with the wrong piece of information. Sure. So they're separated.
Yeah.
But
He
yeah.
was with her long before they got separated.
Oh my God. I was like, let's get into this. Why aren't they filing the paperwork?
Medical insurance.
Medical insurance. So I assume your mom needs his medical insurance? Okay. And yeah, right? Wouldn't that be a nice Mr. Beast episode? Mr. Beast helps 1,000 women leave their shitty husbands finally.